Minecraft is a big game and with a huge player base, which means a lot of people with intuitive ideas. One of those ideas is Minecraft Civilization. And today we answer that one single question that everyone's asking. What's the best?
Wait, hold on there. How do you know what video is the best? There's like tons of Minecraft Civilization videos.
Well, that's where we come in. We have developed the amazing Civilization Algorithm 2.0. The way it works is we will rate each video a score out of 10 for the story, editing, character development, narration, and idea. Afterwards, we will add up all our ratings and give a total score out of 100. 50 is average, so a 60 is really good. Now let's proceed to the video. Ish's 1,000 players built a massive civilization in Minecraft video is insane when it comes to music and pacing. It uses that run, shoot, think, live motto that Tanaz mentioned in my last video. If you're wondering what pacing is, here's Tanaz's explanation.
Pacing is a way of structuring a video to make it easier to watch. If something has no action, it's too boring. If something has too much action, it's overwhelming. Good pacing has ups and downs to keep you interested constantly, so that it all ends up balanced in the end.
Ish masters this. His video is a bit more than an hour, and despite the lack of conflict all the way through the video, which was impressive, the video did not make you feel bored. This being said, the lack of wars, despite the major tensions, caused the narration of Ish to be more heavily dependent on, which was well executed for the most part. Some transition moments may have felt a bit too long, although were necessary. Moving on to the characters, some characters had major impacts, such as a freaking turkey. When he died, the entire world had a war. A war which is among the best because of all the build-up. It's like One Piece, a ton of build-up for the massive fight, which is insane. There were other characters that were notable too. We have the members of the Allies, Sidefall, 20JP, Ghost Toast, Forest Crown, Jothael, and the Seth Hyphen. We also have the members of the Akulon Empire like Elaniolo, Redox, EJK9000, and Yeet Speak. These were the people in the center of most of world tensions. We also can't forget of Saparada and Stormy in Hell, who died earlier on because of reasons I will not spoil. Wazak was also there. He sacrificed himself in order to keep peace, which was a massive turnback from his first ambition. Like I mentioned earlier, Ish is a music wizard. All the music was placed in as if it crafted the video. It gave you all those chills down your back and amplified the mood and cinematic feeling. It's a movie that's on YouTube. Ish's editing was also well done. You didn't have any sharp cuts or awkward bits, and the quality was well above average. If Ish has something to improve on, it's probably getting as much story through it as possible. Because it's such a massive event, there are a lot of things that were inevitably missed, unintentionally. Getting more people watching around, searching for that inner meaning, is a way to make the general video feel better. 1,000 players means 1,000 stories. If you want to feel that hype, that amazing build-up, and execution, this is the video for you. In the end, Ish receives an outstanding score of 89 on 100.
Sword's 100 player simulate civilization across dimensions in Minecraft video is definitely one of Sword's best videos. The video featured 4 dimensions: the overworld, the nether, the end, and the place where all 3 meet, the deep dark. This was partly inspired by Marcus K's 100 players simulate a huge Minecraft civilization across dimensions. This video was an experiment to see which of the 3 main dimensions would reign victorious. However, Sword added a lot of uniqueness to the video, which made it very enjoyable to watch. The first being classes for each dimension, which seemed to balance out the negatives and the positives with each other, and it worked perfectly. The general rule for this video is that high risk equals high reward, which made it very interesting. You were never bored in this video, and it felt like a well-crafted cinematic experience. The twists like the evasion and the build contest also helped a ton when it came to pacing and character development. On the topic of pacing, the video's pacing was never too slow or too fast, which was very good considering the video is 1.5 hours. Moving on to character development, everyone seemed important and the characters felt very generalized, which is good and bad. It was good because you never got bored of one person, and a lot of people's stories were told. On the bad side, however, the generalization of the character development mostly didn't make you want a specific nation to win. This impacts the overall story of the video minimally, however. You never expected what was going to happen. The only thing you expected was that war was going to break out, and that Clownpiercer was going to die, because that's what happens in every Civilization video. I mean, every Civilization video that Clownpiercer is in, at least. What definitely helped with the story was Sword's narration. Personally, for me, it started out a bit strange, because it sounded like he was surprised by everything despite reading from a script, but you definitely got used to his narration style, and it definitely appeals to a lot of people. You know what's happening 99% of the time, and you're nearly never clueless. One of my favorite things about this video was the uniqueness, despite this topic already being a thing. Sword really took the idea and made it his own, which was pleasing to see. The quality of the video is also really good. It had decent, however definitely not perfect animations and transitions that contributed positively towards the video. Something I believe this video needed to improve on more is probably mastering the character development. It's good that the video didn't prioritize main characters, however, having some groups of players to root for definitely would have helped bring up the overall mood. Sword's video is overall enjoyable, and everyone should watch it if they have the time. Sword finished off getting a clean, nice score of 70 out of 100. Magic Gum's 500 Players Colonize Earth in Minecraft video was a video that if you haven't seen it, you wouldn't believe it was real. It's so good. It has phenomenal narration and the story could not have been better. Even with tons of characters and events happening, it just was organized in a way that worked so well. All the events flowed into each other in a way that was like a movie, honestly, and you felt sorrow to the downfall of civilizations and the cheerfulness of the birth of new ones. The humor was also very genuine, it wasn't planned, and it just worked. When we talk about the editing of the video, it was for the most part average, but the way the scenes flowed together made it feel so good. This being said, the flow of most scenes really made those that didn't flow stand out even more, which didn't necessarily impact the overall mood of the video to a large extent due to you constantly processing what just happened. The characters felt important, and there definitely were some names you remembered, like Otomer, Eggcat, Venzai, Unluck, and Z-Man Martin. They all played a role which just tremendously increased the mood of the video. His video tied into a lot of his older content and kind of wraps it all up into a beautiful tapestry. It was like the grand finale and it showed some crazy progression. The pacing is based on a historical timeline, a timeline mixed with both real and created events which worked really well with the video style. Magic Gum's video was all about that feeling that just makes you want to be a part of it all throughout the entirety of the video. Magic Gum's video is definitely one to watch if you're looking into the Minecraft Civilization genre, because not only does it make you want to watch more, but even more importantly, it inspires you to create your own. Magic Gum received a phenomenal score of 87 out of 100, which is just as phenomenal as the video itself.
JJK's 300 Players Simulate a Huge Civilization video brought an unexpected outcome to the genre. Usually when we look at these videos, it most commonly ends up with a massive war or battle and rarely ends with peace, but instead ends with remorse and shows the effects of violence on a society. Well, that didn't happen here. This video ended with a peace, which for myself at least was satisfaction. JJK's video, although starting simple and similar to the standard style, it was still rather unique. Maybe not as much as other videos, but unique regardless. His overall editing was average, though the font didn't really match the content too well. It was actually fixed in a later video. However, the transitions were smooth and the cuts were done nicely. The same can be said about the narration. The quality of the narration can mainly be seen in Day 4, where it opened with rhetorical question, which flowed nicely with the basic yet pleasing music, however had a lot of unneeded comments and used a weird tone with past tense, which made it feel a bit awkward. When we talk about characters, there isn't much that comes to mind when thinking of this video, because realistically nothing really happened. There was no character development. In Day 6 we see some development when it comes to Zombie, and in Day 8, when all the action happened, we see Rasputin taking out the enemy, making us wonder what will happen now. The main explanation and cause of the lack of character development is simple. Like I've said, nothing really happened, so there was no room to develop. Moving along, something that could have been improved in this video is emphasizing the classes more. It kind of was just mentioned, but not really shown too much. Maybe making the perks more noticeable would be for the best. However, something I enjoyed was the nice ending. It felt complete, it felt pleasing. If you are curious on how Civilization would develop peacefully, this is the right video for you. In the end, JJK scored a score of 68 on 100, which I believe is well deserved and places him about 10 points above the average. Silver's I made 100 players simulate medieval civilization in Minecraft was a very unique video for the time when it was made. And yes, this video was featured in my last video, but for a good reason too. We find that this video is definitely one of the best, and although we can argue that Silver's newer content is better, the newer videos do not count as civilization videos, rather simulation videos. Getting back on track, Silver's video has phenomenal editing and has the best transitions and animations out of all the videos on today's list. It's really his specialty. However, the video was a bit long despite that being his usual. It didn't really keep that amazing pacing all the way through, and characters like Eyes really started to be slightly annoying just because they stayed the same and were static characters. What was nice though was that the humor was good. It wasn't bland and the players were funny too. The perks in this video were well shown and were used well. They didn't go unnoticed. One of my favorite things of the video have to have been the events. Silver places them in a way that keeps you watching. They make you wonder what other events are going to happen. Although some characters were meh, the characters were still above average and the players weren't boring. It was also immensely satisfying to see the toxic players lose to the dwarves. The little dwarves really carried the overall character development because they gave so much to work with. If something had to be improved, it would be character development, which he's actually done in his later videos. To sum things up, Speed Silver's video makes you lose track of time, and if you're looking for something to make you laugh, this is the video for you. Silver in the end acquired a score of 75 on 100. In last place, we have JJK with a score of 68 on 100. Although last, it was still a valuable contender for this video. As we proceed on with the results, you will see our scores for the 5 criteria on the right. In 4th place, we have Sword with a score of 70 on 100. Sword has definitely been improving, and it's noticeable in his increase of quality. In 3rd place, we have Silver with a score of 75 on 100. It's a shame that his newer content doesn't count as Civilization, because his videos have just become insane. Now for the final 2. In 2nd place, we have Magic Gum. Although extremely close to Ish, it didn't quite pass him with a score of 87 on 100. Still extremely impressive, but just an inch away from 1st place. In 1st place, like I said, we have Ish. He acquired a score of 89 on 100, only beating Magic by 2 points, but he sure did earn it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It means a lot and helps a lot too, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.